What's up, Falcons Nation? It's your boy Jew coming at you with another Atlanta Falcons video. As always, Falcons Nation, rise up. In today's video, I would like to talk about Grady Jarrett, but if you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you know when I've done Atlanta Falcons content, hit that like button for your boy. If you'd like to follow your boy on Twitter and Instagram, you can follow me at Jew Talk Sports. If you'd like to donate to my channel, you can donate to my Cash App, which is the $ Jew Talk Sports. And if you'd like to be a part of my Jew Talk Sports membership, you can hit that join tab here on the channel as well. But with that being said, let's jump right into the video. So as I mentioned in today's video, I do want to talk about Grady Jarrett and why I believe Grady Jarrett is the heart and soul of this Atlanta Falcons team. So last year, you guys know that Grady Jarrett did go down with injury. He played about 8 games last season. He went down against the Tennessee Titans. And it seems like when Grady Jarrett went down with injury, the season kind of went in a downward spiral after that. We lost games that we possibly could have won against the Minnesota Vikings with Josh Dobbs starting or coming in relief as the backup quarterback. We lost games to the Arizona Cardinals and Kyler Murray. We lost the game against the Carolina Panthers, and we also lost a clutch game down the stretch to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, where we lost on a game-winning drive. So it was a lot of games last season where I feel like if Grady Jarrett would have stayed healthy, we possibly could have won a lot of those games. But because Grady Jarrett is one of those guys that I think is the heart and soul of this Atlanta Falcons team and defense, he is a locker room leader, and he's one of those guys that has a winning pedigree. I believe that Grady Jarrett and Jake Matthews are the only 2 players remaining from that 2016 Atlanta Falcons team that went to the Super Bowl. But Grady Jarrett is one of those guys that has played well pretty much throughout his career. He's been a consistent player. He's made 2 Pro Bowls. And he's one of those guys that's always knocking on the door of All-Pro or being a Pro Bowler. A guy that's well known at this point around the league at being one of the better interior defensive linemen in the league, a very disruptive player. And I definitely expect Grady Jarrett this season to bounce back from that ACL tear. They talked to Grady Jarrett last week, and he talked about being ready for the season and that he's preparing himself to get ready to ramp up for this upcoming season. But he talked about being able to watch the game and see the game from a different perspective because he was injured. He got to watch, look at the game from the outside looking in. And I definitely think that was great for Grady Jarrett to possibly get that opportunity to see the game from a different lens. And I really expect him to come back as a better leader this season in the locker room. I expect him to come back with a chip on his shoulder, and I expect him to have a big season for our Atlanta Falcons. Grady Jarrett is one of those guys that I believe is only 30 years old, so he still has a lot of good football in him, and I expect him to possibly, come out with his hair on fire this year. We know that he's one of those guys on this team that's very disruptive. He is a fire starter. He's a guy that opposing offensive linemen and offensive coordinators, they have to prepare for it every week because he's a guy that you normally have to double team on that defensive line. And I expect Grady Jarrett this season, both him and David Onyemata, to lead these young guys that we have, the Rucororos that we drafted, guys like Brandon Dorless and, Brandon Trice, all of these young guys. I expect Grady Jarrett to take these guys under his wing and, lead this Atlanta Falcons defense. Now that Calais Campbell is with the Miami Dolphins, I really expect Grady Jarrett to take on even a bigger role than he had last season. I feel like last season, David Onyemata and definitely Calais Campbell kind of helped carry the load on the defense. But I expect Grady Jarrett to come back in a big way this year and be that leader on the defensive side of the ball. I really feel like Grady Jarrett and Jesse Bates are the keys to this Atlanta Falcons defense. Those 2 guys have that Super Bowl experience. Jesse Bates playing in the Super Bowl with the Cincinnati Bengals, and Grady Jarrett, you guys know that I believe in the trenches and everything starts up front. And Grady Jarrett is one of those guys that can get to the quarterback really quick. He can make plays in the backfield in the running game, and I expect him to be his disruptive self this season for our Atlanta Falcons. So with that being said, you guys give me your thoughts on Grady Jarrett being the heart and soul of this Atlanta Falcons team and this Atlanta Falcons defense. I really feel like because Grady Jarrett is from the Georgia area, not only does he do a great job on the field and in the locker room, but he's also one of those guys that gives back to the community and is one of those guys that's a leader, not only in the locker room, but in the city of Atlanta. So with that being said, this been your boy Jew. I have a lot more content coming for you guys. But as always, Falcons Nation, rise up, be blessed. Peace.